Yeah.
Yeah, Wesley. I complained about Wesley to an arbiter once because I think in Leuven, he was like, it was my time trouble. He has a minute and he's banging the clock, and I'm sure it's nerves or whatever, but still, it's like it's my time trouble.
Yeah.
You can't do this. I mean, I have 5 seconds. You have a minute. You just can't do this. Yeah.
It's true.
Pretty much against the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. People definitely get their emotions up fast, which I understand. I also.
Yeah. Also, I know that's because in some events we had heart rate monitors, and Wesley's heart rate goes through the roof, even in classical game, like 150, 160.
Well, you played the Armageddon, right? Armageddon
Yeah,
series. I was watching this, which is very entertaining. And I noticed the heart rates of all the players, so I can tell you who is staying more or less low heart rate and who is going crazy.
Shanklin?
Shanky is he's okay.
Stable, right?
He's more or less around 100.
Richie surprisingly was going very high.
He's like 180, like
Yeah.
it's like running,
But
sprinting.
no surprise that Mickey was like,
Yeah, very calm.
yeah,
And
Mickey Adams, right?
Mickey was good. Yeah, Mickey
Adams?
Mickey
yeah.
Adams.
I was going 110, 120. I remember.
You were stable, yeah, more or less
Yeah.
normal.
That's very good. Yeah.
I think, Shanklin was one of the best. I think Andrew Tang was normal, fine. He was doing fine. Yeah, the most notable were Wesley and Richie just going like through the roof, 160,
Yeah.
170 in critical.
Especially Richie, I was surprised because Wesley, we know about his nerves sometimes, especially in rapid time controls. Richie just seems unbothered in general.
He gets nervous during games. I can tell.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well,
also,
it
might be about physical shape. And I don't know how much is
No,
natural.
I don't think this is done to physical shape. I think this is done to nerves and maybe sometimes, I wouldn't say motivation, but like at least getting this sense of importance to the game. Like, because I felt like, for instance, my heart rate in some of the games, for instance, my Armageddon game with Wesley, was going much higher than, I didn't have a heart rate monitor to confirm, but I'm pretty sure I was going 130, 140 there.
Yeah, this makes sense. Like if you're attacked by a wild animal, you're going to sense the urgency.
yes, you will.
If you really care about the game, then you're going to sense the urgency.
Yeah,
If you don't care
because
so much, then maybe less
Armageddon
so.
was a bit special because we were playing 20 minutes a day. Yeah. So at least I was not like entering with the sense of urgency. I was like, let's play some games of chess. It is quite important. It is quite a lot of money we're playing for. But you don't have the build-up. You don't have the excitement going in.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching this format, but it was short. It was just too short.
It was a bit too short, but it was very nice, of course, for the players. But yeah, I do think it's not intense enough for a sporting event. Like maybe this Champion Chess 2 finals was a bit too intense, but I'd rather have it too intense than not intense enough.
Well, it's all about the length of the broadcast, and I think this is probably what they wanted with that shorter format. It's like 2 hours of play, right?
Yeah, of course.
Which is a normal game of whatever, like basketball.
No, I do
football.
think short format is the way to go, and that's also one of the reasons I do think that classical games should be divided into
5, 6 hours, 7 hours of play is
that's
just impossible to put on
unwatchable,
TV.
like,
Yeah, it's
I mean,
unwatchable. Yeah.
The only exception I know to that was Game 6.
In general, the World Championship will get the numbers. But yeah, Game 6
No, but
especially.
it gets the numbers, but people are not gonna be watching for the whole 6 hours. But at least because there was all that drama in Game 6 and it was the turning point of the match, there was some build up to it, like by the end of the game. But sometimes, it's just 6 hours and
nothing,
nothing really happens.
You made a good point that at one moment you mentioned the 2015 World Rapid and Blitz where you were ahead 1.5 points going into the Final Four, but you failed in that one. That leaves a scar in your memory. You said that. How do you block those type of thoughts, those type of emotions as you go into those final few games in the 2021 World Championship? Were you thinking about that? Were those emotions and
so when it comes to
coming
Blitz,
back?
I'm a firm believer that you can't sense if you're going to have a good day or a bad day. from the beginning of the day, from the first 1 or 2 games. So of course it has its drawbacks. For instance, in the last Rapid and Blitz, where on the first day of Blitz I was feeling very well, very confident. Then second day, already as the first 2 games were finished, I had lost both. I knew it was going to be a very tough day. I managed somehow to turn it around in game 3 against Alireza, but even that was a bit shaky. And then I collapsed, and probably my only decent game was against you.
But do you really think that you can I never got the impression that I can feel if I'm going to have a good day or not. But I do feel like nervousness definitely, if you're nervous, then it just completely ruins your play.
I do know that in 2015 I was too nervous. And because I was already in the lead going in the second day, and I actually built up that lead, but I felt my play was not flowing as well. And so one moment, I played with Vovk, with White, so which was like an easier game compared to everything I had on the day. So I felt I should push for a win. I had a better position, and then I overpushed. I made some mistakes and lost, and then I was already derailed. In Warsaw in 2021, on the contrary, the second day. First of all, we got this delay of 1 hour with COVID. What a few
COVID tests were
positive, and then some other players were tested.
But they had too many people were getting tested. The lines were too long, and they just had this massive delay, right?
Yeah, it was 1 hour. No, but not everyone was tested, and I think the numbers were 10% of the players were infected.
Were these mandatory? These tests?
No. I didn't get tested.
It's just by choice, yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanted,
I didn't get tested.
And I didn't
get tested. I did.
These were 2-hour lines in the cold. Right?
Yeah.
I think Vidit was posting at some point that he just.
I think the opponents of Ikaru and maybe one other player were tested. That's what was happening. So I was not tested.
I got tested after the event.
Yeah.
But I think this was probably to travel. I probably still needed to travel.
Yes, most likely.
Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had this huge 1 hour delay. And then I got this very good fortune on the first game with Boris, where he flagged.
Boris Gelfand,
yeah? Yeah, Boris Gelfand. I was pawned down in a queen endgame, fighting for my life, and he just flagged. And how it happened is he flags, and I'm pondering over my move because thinking, what should I do? It's not so easy to defend. And then I look at the clock because I'm probably down to 1 or 2 seconds. And then I realize, someone has less time than that. And then my play started flowing. And so by the end of the day, I was just thinking about my play and feeling good about my play. Moves were flowing. I had also a bit of good fortune with Levon and with Magnus in the last round. It was all the complicated fights were going in my favor, which is not down to luck because when I'm in good shape in Blitz, it tends to happen. But still, it was a very good feeling. And for instance, when Magnus is at his best level, it's also complicated fights tend to turn in his favor as well.